Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The event will begin in 2 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the SIGGRAPH 2018 Conference Chair, Roy C. Anthony.
First of all, you know it's serious when you come up with paper. How's everyone today? Anyone enjoy the Jurassic Park event last night? How many people went and saw that? Some good hands, it's awesome. Generations, that's how this goes. So what we would like to do is begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh. Thank you. So generations is the conference theme this year. And what does that mean, the tagline being generations? Well, I'm thrilled that you're with us today about our 45th conference, so really we have a lot to reflect on. We reflect and learn from the past. We share and delight in today's leading edge, and we become inspired by the future. What I find unique about SIGGRAPH is the interdisciplinary intersections of connections, interactions, and collaboration among scholars, creative practitioners, and industry professionals from a diverse community, our community, who call SIGGRAPH home. Those communities we've rolled up into production and animation, research and education, arts and design, gaming and interactive, new and emerging technologies. Truly opportunities for cradle-to-grave research and art inspiring practitioners to develop amazing experiences and then cycle back again and again. We've seen this year over year. SIGGRAPH has generated an intense amount of movement in the industry. The result is the ideas we share and exchange at SIGGRAPH 2018 is informed by a variety of discipline and experience and focus. And as a result, the creations we generate together are innovative, multifaceted, complex, and I dare say, maybe exciting. That's what SIGGRAPH's about, and that's why we're here. So, just want to segue on to my team real quick here. I'm super proud that I got an opportunity to work with this, speaking of diverse group of individuals, these particular individuals here, from my art papers and art gallery chairs all the way down to the folks in the international community. All of these individuals here were supported by a larger group of amazing contractors and leads, and also had deep subcommittees themselves, hundreds of people working to put this conference together for you. And it's not just these individuals that are pulling the conference together for you, and I thank you, but it's also you, the contributors. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for sharing your work with us, your seminal papers, posters, demos, installations, animations, mobile apps, talks, and panels. You create the content we all enjoy and love. And if you served as a reviewer or a juror, thank you. I don't know if you guys know this, maybe some of you are new to SIGGRAPH, but this is an academic conference primarily, so as we push content through, it's being vetted by the best of the best. We're choosing to push forward only the best content, and I think that's why SIGGRAPH has always been held in such high esteem. Thank you for donating your time, all reviewers. I'm also grateful and supportive of our valued exhibitors, donors, and sponsors, and of course my family, who had to put up with an awful lot of not me around, because the amount of work required to do this, it's pretty intense. So please, when you see one of our program chairs or a student volunteer, give them a round of applause for the amount of effort they put into this. At this time, I would like to introduce the ACM President, Sherry Pancake. She is Professor Emeritus and Intel Faculty Fellow of the School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science at Oregon State University. She's also the Director of the Northwest Alliance for Computational Science and Engineering. Her vision as ACM President is to proactively engage researchers, educators, and practitioners in emerging areas of computing through providing conference and publication opportunities that will help drive advances in their fields. And with that, please help me welcome to the stage Sherry Pancake.
Thank you, Roy. Roy's right, it takes a community of hundreds of people to build something like this, and it's a great achievement. I'm here today representing the world's oldest and largest professional society for computing, the Association for Computing Machinery. ACM was actually created in 1947 by some of the world's first computer scientists. Their goal was to advance the research, development, construction, and application of new machinery for computing, for information use, and for reasoning. Now, it's interesting that 70 years later, that goal is still relevant as long as you don't claim that computing is a new concept as it was then. Today, ACM has almost 100,000 members in 190 countries worldwide. We're probably best known for the conferences and workshops that we sponsor, including this one. How many of you know that SIGGRAPH is ACM's biggest annual conference? It is? And I would guess that most of you would agree that it's the coolest. I think it is. But SIGGRAPH is much more than this annual conference. It's also ACM's largest SIG, or special interest group. How many of you are members of SIGGRAPH? Okay, for those of you who didn't raise your hand, I would strongly recommend that you join before next year's conference because, first of all, it'll save you hundreds of dollars from your registration fee for the conference. But also, there are lots of year-long benefits that you can have from membership. You know, the truth is that ACM leadership team comes to very few conferences in the year, and we always come to SIGGRAPH. It's not just me. The COO and CEO are here, the head of SIG Services, and the chair of the SIG Governing Board, who is actually SIGGRAPH's former president, Jeff Jortner. The reason that we come is that your SIG and its conferences are particularly important to ACM. Why? Because they're classic examples of the magic that happens when researchers, practitioners, educators, and students all come together to share ideas and innovation. And that's really what ACM is all about, building connections among all the different people involved in computing. So I encourage you to take a few minutes while you're here or when you get back home to check out the websites of both ACM and SIGGRAPH. Find out about other resources and activities you might have been missing out on. And please, if you have suggestions of other things we could be doing that would further you in your professional career, I'd love to hear them. It's easy, just email me at president@acm.org. And now I have the great privilege of introducing the current SIGGRAPH president, Jessica Hodgins of CMU. Jessica?
So I'd like to first welcome you, add my welcome to SIGGRAPH 2018. We have an amazing set of events for you this week. So as Sherry said, when our members think of SIGGRAPH, we really think first of the conference, of this conference, and as well as of SIGGRAPH Asia. But SIGGRAPH is much more than that. It's also a large set of specialized conferences, about 20 conferences on different topics like animation and rendering and computational fabrication. It's also an organization which works year-round to try and improve things for our members and to provide access to our content. And that's run by an executive committee as well as a set of standing chairs. And we work to support our members through activities at the conference, on the web, and back home through chapters. So this is a number of our standing committees. And we also work to provide content through educational curriculum, through SIGGRAPH University, and access to our content in the digital library. So the vision of SIGGRAPH is enabling everyone to tell their stories, and I'd like to unpack that just a little bit for you. So by everyone, we mean not just the practitioners that create the amazing movies and games and special effects that we all enjoy, but also everyone who has a story to tell, whether it's a child who's passionate about something that she's imagining, or a woman from an area where she's just been able to find her voice, or a farmer who's farmed his family's land for 5 generations. Everybody has a story to tell. And we want these stories to take all forms, from traditional linear media to interactive media to nonlinear and immersive media, and to forms of media that our field has not yet invented, but I expect we will be. So these stories can be about simple moments in life, our dreams, our fantasies, or it can be about invention or complex scientific concepts. So every time we write a paper or we give a talk, we're telling a story, and we want to be able to support all of that in our community. So when we look to the next 5 and 10 years and beyond, we believe there are enormous opportunities for our community to keep researching and inventing tools and techniques which will help people tell stories and decide how they should be presented. So the SIGGRAPH Executive Committee and our team has been working on a number of different ways to help our community tell their stories. So this is celebrating the stories of our community. We've created a new Educators Award, which will be given out first in 2019. We have a new Practitioner Award, which you'll see presented in just a few minutes. And we've created the SIGGRAPH Academy, which is going to recognize the many accomplishments in our community that aren't recognized through the traditional awards. We're getting our stories out So we've created a Proceedings of the ACM, and this is going to publish papers from Interactive 3D, from the Symposium on Computer Animation and High Performance Graphics and Alternating Years. And we also have available on our webpage, I've given you the pointer there, all of the SIGGRAPH content since 2015, and that includes the specialized conferences as well as the 2 main conferences. And that's freely available on the web. It's not behind a paywall. We want to create... Yes, thank you. I think that's one of our hidden treasures, and somehow we've managed not to get the word out. So please go to that URL and look at all of that amazing content and use it in the work that you're doing. So we're creating stories for our diverse community. We've created a new standing committee, the Committee for Diversity and Inclusion, and Tony Bayless has graciously agreed to take that on. He just ran a workshop yesterday on Sunday on diversity and inclusion that was very successful, had a lot of very engaged people and good discussion. We've also created an organization committee called SIGGRAPH Cares. Elaine Chenez is running this. And this is a team who will be available on site if anything does occur and people need support and information about how to follow ACM's very good policies on anti-harassment and to report things up if that's necessary. And let's hope they get no business this week. We are also identifying the stories of new communities. So we just had a talk a little bit ago, the first of our SIGGRAPH Next talks, and there are 2 more coming this week. So those are on education, medicine, and simulations. And we hope these are topics that are going to be of interest to our communities going forward. We also ran on Sunday a set of all-day workshops, again on areas that we hope will pique your interest, maybe for your research or for a turn you might want to take in your career. And those were on healthcare, autonomous driving, and truth in graphics. And then finally this afternoon we have a BOF scheduled to try and collect up new topics for what we should be running those workshops on, perhaps at SIGGRAPH Asia or at least at this conference next year. So that's this afternoon. Please attend and tell us what topics you'd like to learn about that are on the edge of computer graphics, where our skills and technologies could really make a big impact on the field. We want to draw those communities into SIGGRAPH. And we're revealing the stories of our newly minted PhDs. We ran a doctoral consortium on Saturday, and we have a thesis fast forward coming on Tuesday, where students can tell us about their thesis work, and hopefully there'll be some people who want to give them jobs sitting there in the audience. And we've been telling our stories year-round for a long time, but we're trying to add more to that effort with a project called Conference in a Box. So that'll take selected material from the conferences and package it up so that it can be used at chapters, events, and other places like that, other gatherings of the SIGGRAPH community separate from the conference. And then chapters, education, and digital arts have all been running year-round efforts for a long time to support their communities back home. So I have 2 more messages. SIGGRAPH is your organization, and part of that is that we need you to vote in our election. So this is a particularly important election because we have changes in the bylaws that are up for approval by the membership. We also have the position of treasurer and 2 director positions that are open this year. So if you were a member on June 1st, you should have gotten an email from ECS, and the election closes on Wednesday, so you haven't got very long to vote. We have a webpage set up that'll tell you how to recover your PIN if you've lost that, or if the email ended up in your spam folder or whatever. I want to tell you a little bit about the bylaws changes. So we developed these in consultation with a professional working on governance for nonprofits. So we believe that these changes will make our organization more efficient and better able to serve its members. So the 3 main changes are that the officers, the vice president and president and treasurer, will now be selected from among the elected directors rather than being directly elected by the membership. The EC will then have the right to appoint up to 3 voting members to provide balance and diversity of viewpoints on the committee, and at least 2 candidates will be presented to the electorate for each open position. Right now, the bylaws state that there have to be N+1 candidates for N positions, and so we're increasing that with this change. So there's a lot more detail on that webpage that I just had up about these bylaws changes, and the EC would be happy to talk with you about them if the rationale for doing them doesn't seem clear. So please vote if you are a member, and remember the election closes on Wednesday. And then my final message is SIGGRAPH is your organization, and that means that we need your help in volunteering. So we have a large list of jobs on the web. Some of them are really small, an hour or so a week, or maybe a little bit more time than that, but in a concentrated window of time. So I think they're of a size that many people can manage to fit in with their careers and family and all of your other commitments. Volunteering at SIGGRAPH I found it to be really rewarding. It opens doors to a broader global community of people who care passionately about graphics and interactive techniques and are working to try and make our organization as strong as possible all year round. So thank you, and with that, I would like to introduce Michael Cohen, the Technical Awards Chair, who will be presenting some of the awards.
Good morning. Thank you all for getting up so early and coming in. It's a great honor to be here to introduce the SIGGRAPH Awards program. In addition to the technical awards, we have over the years added a number of new awards, including the Service and Artist Awards, to celebrate those who have contributed both behind the scenes and to the aesthetic core of our work. We recently added a Dissertation Award for an up-and-coming star in a field, and this year we introduce a Practitioner Award to someone who simply helps make it all happen. Each awardee is chosen by a dedicated committee of volunteers who do tireless, I know that, and for the most part, thankless work to choose the recipients. I, for one, have an enormous respect for what they do and want to personally thank them here for their efforts. Thank you. This year, we also introduced this new SIGGRAPH Academy to honor all of those who over the years have contributed so much to making the field of computer graphics and interactive techniques so successful in so many ways. We'll hear more about that after the awards are presented. And with that, we'll get on with it, and I'd like to introduce the first presenter of our first awardee.
To present the Outstanding Service Award, please welcome Terrence Mason.
Good morning, everybody. I think Roy had a right to get big pieces of paper to read. I apologize. I'm very, very lucky to have this position. As Michael said, it's a great privilege. Working alongside our incredible contractors, the heart and soul of SIGGRAPH is our volunteers. I'm glad to hear them called out by Jessica. From our SVs to our conference chair, it takes almost 600, I have some numbers to back up Roy's statement, 600 volunteers on average over about 71,000 hours each year to put on just one conference, to put on these 5 days. So I encourage you all to volunteer at all levels of the conference and organization, starting with your local professional and student chapters. So the Outstanding Service Award is presented annually to recognize a career of outstanding service for ACM SIGGRAPH by a volunteer. It recognizes an individual who's given extraordinary service both to the conference and the organization over a significant period of time. The award includes a lifetime membership to ACM SIGGRAPH. This year's award recipient is Scott Owen. Scott became a member of ACM in 1980, joined the Education Committee in '87, and he's going to correct me if I get any of this wrong. Became its second chair in 1990 and the first director for education for the EC until 1995. He served as conference chair in 1997, for which, he'll remind you, would be the largest conference we've ever had, and stayed on the conference advisory group until 2005. Scott was elected president of SIGGRAPH from 2005 to 2011. It was during this time that he met with a group of professors from Asia with Vice President Alan Rockwood. The result of that meeting was the first SIGGRAPH Asia Conference in Singapore in 2008. Am I getting this right? Yep. From 2011 to 2017, Scott was chair of the ACM SIGGRAPH External Relations Committee, From 2011 to 2018, he was chair of the ACM SIGGRAPH Nominations Committee. He also served 2 terms on the ACM SIG Governing Board, Executive Committee, and 1 term as the SGB representative to the ACM Council. That's a lot of positions. He's been a mentor and a friend to untold legions of volunteers, including myself. You can see him out jogging every morning this week, but good luck catching him. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 Outstanding Service Award recipient, Scott Owen.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much to all the wonderful people, volunteers, and contractors that I've had the privilege of working with over the past 30 years. If you come to my talk this afternoon, you'll see a number of them, their pictures and what they've done. Thank you.
To present the Distinguished Artist Award, please welcome Sue Gullifer.
Good morning. I'd like to introduce the Artist Award for the Lifetime Achievement in Digital Arts. It is awarded annually to an artist who has created a body of work that has significantly advanced the aesthetic content of digital art. This year's ACM SIGGRAPH Lifetime Achievement Award in Digital Art is awarded to Monica Fleischmann as a research artist that has contributed to the field of interactive media art since the 1980s to the present day. Thank you. Her multidisciplinary background, fashion design, art and drama, computer graphics, has made her an expert in the world of art, computer science, and media technology. Her artistic work deals with the change of identity, perception in a digital media culture. She uses the design of interfaces as a tool, as a space, as a situation in the basis of cumulative action and motivation for her scientific exploration of mixed realities. ACM SIGGRAPH is honored to recognize Monica as an important pioneer for her research projects based on interface design and new forms of communication. Please welcome Monica Fleischmann.
Yeah, thank you for this wonderful award. I was speechless when I heard about it. As an artist duo, Wolfgang Strauss and I worked with computer scientists at Fraunhofer and other research institutes for more than 30 years on virtual environments, inventing new interfaces, transforming into knowledge and reflection. I feel incredibly honored to be recognized for our commitment to this field of interactive immersion and mixed realities. To Sue Gullifer, Leonardo, SIGGRAPH, and the jury, a big thank you. And please come to my talk this afternoon where I will present some of our works. Thank you.
To present the Practitioner Award, please welcome Mark Alant.
Hi. This year, ACM SIGGRAPH introduced a new award to honor practitioners of computer graphics and interactive applications. This award recognizes practitioners who innovate and build products, services, and systems that advance the field. My co-chair, Natalia Tatarchuk, is unable to be here this morning, but we would both like to thank the committee who put in a lot of hours to make our first selection for the award. And we're thrilled to give the first ever Practitioner Award to Bill Reeves of Pixar. Early in his career, Bill created groundbreaking techniques like particle systems and depth-mapped shadows that transformed the industry and are still used heavily in production today. Recently, Bill oversaw the implementation of a new lighting system at Pixar, effectively overhauling an entire piece of the production pipeline. In addition to his role as a software architect, he also has production credits on many Pixar films, not only recent films, but also including the iconic short film Luxo Jr., for which he received an Academy Award. Bill continues to practice the art of filmmaking and is currently working on a future undisclosed project for Pixar. His contributions in the industry have helped shape the industry and have inspired computer graphics practitioners around the world. It is my extreme pleasure to invite Bill up onto the stage to receive the first ever Practitioner Award.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to accept this award in recognition from SIGGRAPH as a practitioner and in recognition of all the practitioners out there in the world who have been toiling away, building, like I do, films, or toiling away and doing all sorts of things using the technology and the research that those of you at SIGGRAPH all do. I was extremely lucky to be in the right place at the right time 38 years ago when we started at Lucasfilm and on to Pixar as the industry was just taking off. It's great to be in there at the beginning, obviously, and then to have worked with so many amazingly talented people to make our dream of realizing and doing a full-length computer animated film, and then to do 20 more after that. I want to thank, first of all, thanks to the industry out there, all of you who inspired me and challenged me and come up with some great ideas that I could steal in what I wanted to do in my endeavors. To my friends and colleagues at Pixar, it's such an amazing place to work. It's an adventure every day, and I thank you so much for how you inspire me. To Ed Catmull and Albie Ray Smith, who hired me into my first job and my only job, and to take our small little graphics team and build it into the Pixar that we see today. To my close colleagues, Eben Osby and John Lasseter, who toiled with me in the beginning, scratching and clawing our way through the endeavors of creating and building this up to where we are today. You guys are just the best. And finally, to my wife, you really are my inspiration, and you really are the best. I love you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
To present the Outstanding Service Award, please welcome Ming Lin.
It is a pleasure here to present the third ACM SIGGRAPH Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award. On the behalf of the committee, I would like to introduce this year's winner, Dr. Jun-Yan Zhu, for his thesis on manipulating and synthesizing natural images. Jun-Yan received his PhD from UC Berkeley, University of California at Berkeley, under the supervision of Alex Efros. He also received a Facebook graduate fellowship during his study here. He's currently a postdoctoral fellow at MIT. Jun Yan's dissertation presents a thorough examination on the creation and manipulation of photorealistic visual content using modern machine learning technique. It is arguably the first PhD dissertation to systematically attack the problem of natural image synthesis using deep neural network. A key open problem in data-driven image synthesis is how to make sure the synthesized images look realistic. And Jun Yan proposed a learning algorithm to classify real images and automatically generate a composite, as well as determining if they look realistic or not. The resulting classifier arguably actually can predict how realistically the new composite will look to a human. The realism score that he proposed can also be used to improve the composite realism by iteratively updating the image through color transform. This work could be considered as the first and the precursor to currently popular conditional GAN architecture. Jun Yan proposed also a novel technique for preserving the realism of images during interactive editing by using the GAN architecture. And it is the first use of GAN in real-time application, and it contributes to the popularizations of GANs in our community. Lastly, Jun Yan introduced CycleGAN, as many of you have heard. It revolutionized the image-based graphics for transferring visual content and style from one set of image into another set, such as translating winter or images into summer and vice versa, horses into zebra, MRI into CT scan. It was the first to show artistic collection style transfer and translating a painting into a photograph. His thesis work has already had a very, very impressive impact in the field. His thesis work collectively have been published at 17 top graphics and vision conferences, plus 2 patents. And they have been cited already more than 2,400 times. His work has been featured in popular press, including New Yorker, Economist, Forbes, Wire, and many more. Most impressively, his code has been widely used by developers, programmers, and artists. He has 20,000 GitHub stars, more than 1,500 followers. I am pleased to present 2018 ACM SIGGRAPH Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award to Jun Yan.
Thanks a lot. I'm really honored to get this award. Thank the award committee. Also would like to thank my thesis committee members, at least for graduating me before too late. They are Alyosha and Jitendra, Ren, and Mike. I also thank my collaborators, students, and faculty members from Berkeley, CMU, and MIT. I was so lucky to stay in so many wonderful places. So thanks to my parents and my wife, Ija, for their love and support. So finally, a special thanks to my advisor, Alyosha Afros, for encouraging me to look at the pixels, become a friend with pixels, and do something cool with pixels. Thanks.
To present the significant New Researcher Award, please welcome Michael Cohen.
It's a great honor to introduce this year's recipient of the significant New Researcher Award. This award is presented annually to someone in the early part of their professional career who's already had a significant impact on our field. This year, the recipient is Gordon Wettstein for his work in advanced display hardware and display-specific rendering techniques. Gordon develops displays that address a variety of perceptual challenges, including autostereoscopy, the elimination of vergence accommodation conflict, and the elimination of the needs for observers with vision defects, like me, to wear corrective lenses. For example, Tensor Displays in 2012 outlined a technology that combines stacks of time-multiplex spatial light modulators. In 2014, he introduced eyeglasses-free displays that can correct for myopia, hyperopia, and presbyopia. The next year, with the light field stereoscope, he brought this technique to near-eye displays for virtual reality applications. These are only a small sample of the over 80 conference and journal publications in our field he has co-authored. Gordon completed his undergraduate work at Bauhaus Universität in Weimar in 2006 and his computer science PhD in 2011 at the University of British Columbia, right here in Vancouver. After a stay with the Camera Culture Group at MIT Media Lab, he joined the faculty of the Department of Electrical Engineering at Stanford University, where he currently leads the Stanford Computational Imaging Lab. In recognition of his achievements in the early phase of his career, we're pleased to present Gordon with the 2018 Significant New Researcher Award. Please welcome Gordon Wettstein.
Thank you so much. I'm deeply honored to accept this award, and I'd like to thank my academic advisors, Oliver Bimber, Ramesh Raskar, and Wolfgang Heydrich for their continued support. I'd also like to thank my family, my students and postdocs who carry on the torch, as well as my many collaborators, colleagues, and friends in this community. What makes SIGGRAPH so amazing for me is really the great community and the people behind the pixels. Thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure to present the next award, which is the 2018 Computer Graphics Achievement Award. This award is given to an individual who has shown a sustained research record over a number of years. I'm quite honored to present this award to Danny Cohen-Orr in recognition of his pioneering contributions to computer graphics. Danny's work has touched on a remarkable breadth of topics, making seminal contributions in the fields of geometry processing, shape analysis, and image processing. In the early 2000s, Daniel and colleagues did some of the first work in reconstructing 3D surfaces from point clouds. They developed a reconstruction approach using moving least squares in computing and rendering point set surfaces, which continues to be influential today. Later, in Laplacian surface editing, Daniel was one of the first to work in gradient domain processing of geometry. This shift in domain has allowed many breakthroughs in the quality of shape editing, morphing, parameterization, and hole completion. Daniel's work also includes a number of new creative applications and interfaces for authoring graphics content ranging from harmonizing and improving color schemes in images, hallucinating 3D textures, manipulating photographs paired with geospatial data, action synopsis, media retargeting, unique interfaces to 3D shape editing. Honestly, I've lost count of his influential publications. Daniel collaborates and mentors widely. Many of his students and collaborators have gone on to win awards and conduct significant research on their own. Danny received his PhD at the State University of New York at Stony Brook in 1991. He's currently a professor at Tel Aviv University. Please help me welcome Daniel Cohen-Orr.
Hi, it's a great honor for me to receive this award. I would like to thank the award committee, my colleagues, my friends, my collaborators. Without them, I wouldn't be standing here. My students, I was always very fortunate to have excellent students, and I always enjoy working with them. and my family, of course, my wife Dina and my 3 kids, for not only the support they gave me, but for all the love they gave me. Thank you very much.
The next thing we're going to be doing is talking about the new SIGGRAPH Academy. The Academy Chair is Holly Rushmeyer. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, and so the Academy is going to be introduced by Academy Committee member Cynthia Beth Rubin. Cynthia?
So thank you, Michael. This year, we are pleased to announce the establishment of the ACM SIGGRAPH Academy. The purpose of the Academy is to recognize individuals who have made substantial contributions to the field of computer graphics and interactive techniques. With the Academy, we will be able to recognize leaders in the field who have had impact more broadly defined than it has been in our past awards program. Each year, there will be a call for nominations of researchers, practitioners, technologists, artists, designers, and educators whose work is influential and are having a direct impact on the field. These nominees will be accomplished and active members of the ACM SIGGRAPH community. The nominations will be evaluated by a selection committee chaired by Holly Rushmeyer, with members John Fuji, Hughes Hoppe, Nelson Max, Hans-Peter Seidel, and myself, Cynthia Beth Rubin. In its inaugural year, recognizing the long history of contributions to computer graphics and interactive techniques, the SIGGRAPH Academy inducts recipients of the Stephen A. Coons Award, the Computer Graphics Achievement Award, and the Distinguished Artist Award for Lifetime Achievement in Digital Art as its first class of members. So,
Ivan E. Sutherland for Sketchpad and providing a vision that has sustained the field. Donald P. Greenberg for pioneering ideas and education of graduate students in computer graphics and computer-aided design. Andries Van Dam for unwavering pursuit of excellence and contributions to computer graphics education. James Foley for strong, sustained leadership in computer graphics and for books and work with publications. James F. Blenn for pioneering work in rendering and animation and exemplary contributions as an author. Pat Hanrahan for leadership in rendering algorithms, graphics architectures, and new visualization methods. Tomoyuki Nishita for inspirational work in the rendering of natural phenomena. Nelson Max for pioneering work in scientific visualization, deep technical contributions, and stimulation of intellectual exchange. Turner Whitted for recursive ray tracing and for groundbreaking contributions to computer graphics algorithms and hardware. Henry Fuchs for contributions to augmented and virtual reality graphics hardware and for educating the leaders in the field. Jessica Hodgins for foundational work in character animation, support of emerging researchers, and for extensive volunteer service. Yoichiro Kawaguchi for creative and innovative artistry, giving life to a stunning aesthetic. Ernest A. Edmonds for major contributions to the development of computational art. Monica Fleischman for pioneering the field of new media art through research projects. Alvy Ray Smith for seminal contributions to computer paint systems. Mark Lavoie for pioneering work in rendering volumes without an intermediate surface representation.
Przemysław Przemkiewicz for work in the modeling and visualizing of biological structures.
Michael F. Cohen for the development of practical radiosity methods for realistic image synthesis. David H. Salison for pioneering the field of non-photorealistic rendering in computer graphics. David Kirk for bringing high-performance computer graphics systems to the mass market. Hughes Hoppy for pioneering work on surface reconstruction, progressive meshes, geometry texturing, and geometry images. Joss Stam for pioneering work on subdivision surfaces and on simulation of natural phenomena, especially fire, fluids, and gases. Greg Ward for the development of the Radiance synthetic imaging system. Ken Perlin for broad contributions ranging from novel mathematical approaches to hardware. Michael Cass for extensive and significant contributions, in particular for the introduction of optimization techniques. Richard Zaliski for pioneering contributions at the intersection of computer graphics and computer vision. Greg Turk for contributions to physically impaired mathematical application in graphics. Thomas Funkhauser for work in 3D shape-based retrieval and analysis and for interactive systems for complex virtual environments. Steve Marshner for contributions to modeling the appearance of natural materials. Ramesh Raskar, for numerous impactful research contributions to computational imaging and light transport. Daniel Cohen Orr, for seminal contributions to the fields of geometry processing, shape analysis, and image processing.
Ed Catmull, Jose Luis Encarnação, Robert L. Cook, James T. Kajia, Lynn Hirschman Leeson, Roman Verosco, Charles Surrey, Jean-Pierre Hebert, Manfred Moore, Lillian Schwartz, Stina Vasulka, James H. Clark, Lauren Carpenter, Alan H. Barr, John Warnock, Kurt Akeley, Tony DeRose, Peter Schroeder, Thomas W. Saderberg, Holly Rushmeyer, and Fredo Durand.
Wow, that was an amazing set of people. It's an incredible honor to have been part of this process. You heard a couple of very quick thank yous from this year's awardees. I'd encourage all of you to come to the awards talk sessions, which is in West Hall, rooms 211 to 214, and that's this afternoon at 3:45. I've really been inspired by those talks in past years, and I encourage you all to come and hear the longer version of both their thank yous, but more importantly, the work that they've done that got them up onto this stage. I also want to take just 2 seconds to say thank you for the honor of being able to stand up here and present these awards. This turns out to be my last year doing this, so it's a little bittersweet. I've really both enjoyed and been honored and impressed by all the hard work which has gone into it. You don't have to worry, you'll be in good hands. Next year, the process will be taken over by Tom Funkhauser of Princeton University, so you'll see him up on this stage next year. And with that, we're just about done. I want to thank you again for all coming and enjoying the show today.
So in closing, I'd just like to thank Michael for all the hard work that he's put in on the Technical Awards Committee over the past 5 years. The process has run very smoothly. It's been wonderful working with you and having you take on all of these responsibilities. So thank you, Michael.
Great news, guys. We managed to pull through that award ceremony, I think, with a resounding success. I would like to personally congratulate all the award recipients and inductees. It's with these individuals we can build all of the amazing experiences, visuals, animations, production-oriented talks that you're going to be able to see today. Of course, also be able to see unique research opportunities as well. So a big round of applause for everybody that went through the award ceremony. Thank you. So with that, my hope is this week you guys have a little bit of fun expanding your minds, finding your mentors and mentoring others. Please do that. Invest in the future and invest with us together. Look for opportunities to volunteer if you can, and When you're moving around the show, have fun and engaging in a variety of sessions, immersive experiences, connections, and events. We worked hard to instill a variety of avenues for exploring cutting-edge content, so please maximize those opportunities. Learn about the newest contributions in computer graphics and interactive techniques through our talks, panels, and paper sessions. Experience the genius that is the Computer Animation Festival's electronic theater and Real-Time Live, our evening events. Get a glimpse behind the scenes in the latest computer animation, films, games, and themed entertainment, and more in a production session. And then immerse yourself in the experiential playground that we have in the lower floor, as well as in the East Hall. In the immersive pavilion in the East Hall, as well as in the lower floor, the experience hall. You'll find everything from mobile VR to haptic technologies, art installations, 3D printing, and augmented realities. Continue to imagine, invent, discover, and inspire. And remember, we come to SIGGRAPH to share and exchange our ideas. Thank you very much for coming out to the session today. Please join us in one more round of applause for our award attendees, and then I'll close the session. Thank you.